I'm Katie, and I am a family member / manager, and I help run in the market and the wine shop and fruit and gift basket.
I am Amy. I'm also a family member and manager, and I do a lot of different things. I opened Naturally Soergel 14 years ago. I do a lot of social media, marketing, advertising, help with some HR, hiring for our festivals or our staff, our student staff, but a little bit of everything all over the place.
Eric Voll, 6th generation, as you mentioned, vice president, and I do admin work, IT stuff, a lot of ordering for the main market and for a lot of events and activities as well. And we all wear hats, different hats all the time. So whatever has to happen, we all jump in and take care of it.
So you're all family members. So how are you all related? What's your connection to the owners of Soergel's here, which we heard of from today as well?
Well, Linda is Eric and my mother,
Okay.
and Amy's our cousin.
Okay. And then you're
Randy's daughter.
Okay. Obviously, you were probably raised here at Soergel's.
Very much.
So why don't you talk a little bit about your experience here at Soergel's, the history from your perspective, and why Soergel's is important to you.
One of my earliest memories is being lifted up onto a wooden table that still exists down here in the market and helping to sort apples. So I spent a little bit of time down here as a kid, but my parents have 140 acres in Butler County, and that's where a lot of times I worked growing up until about the age of 12. But up there, early memories again would be picking green beans in the field all the time, it felt like. Picking corn in the mornings. My grandfather would come from down here, bring us up chocolate milk and donuts every morning, and we would eat fresh corn out of the field for breakfast with the donuts and chocolate milk. But we spent a lot of time growing up down in Butler because of school and everything. We didn't always get down here except for the weekends.
Yeah, I have to agree with Eric, since we were up there most of the time in Butler. I remember mostly riding on or in the tractor with my grandfather. And then once we got older and we were down here more, I kind of shadowed my grandpa with making the candy and caramel apples. So that was always neat. And my grandma was down here all the time too. And one of our, well, you probably did it, she was a little bit younger than us, but my great grandmother lived in the house up on the corner. And she would call down here. She was in her, at that point, what, late 80s?
Oh, yeah.
And she'd call down and say she was ready to go to work. So we'd take the golf cart up, pick her up, and she'd come down and help make pie boxes, full of pie boxes. So we'd have to go get great grandma because she was in her late 80s and ready to work.
So I actually grew up right over the hill. So my parents' house is connected to this property. So some of my earliest memories is coming back and forth between the two, my parents' house and coming over here and coming to get ice cream. Or my grandmother used to have a swimming pool, so we would spend time in the pool. But spending a lot of time here at the farm through high school. I worked in the greenhouses a bit. And just really being connected to our family the whole time is still one of my fondest memories.
We heard previously a little bit about the history of Soergel's, kind of where it started.
Yeah.
So tell me about current day and what are your visions for the future of Soergel's? Because I know you've integrated some new services and some new events that are really exciting, and I know that they're well attended, so maybe you could talk a little bit more about that.
So I think that, building on tradition, building on the fact that we are connected to families and generations, and we had talked about some of our peers bringing their kids here now and them experiencing what our friends had done with our kids, and being able to provide family experiences for all generations and generations to come, and laying the foundation for a lot of traditional things like pumpkin picking, apple picking, and then getting your Christmas tree here and that sort of stuff. So the future here is looking forward to all of those very traditional activities, but adding things like we've added a happy hour this year that has been really successful and really fun for us to do. We're able to meet and talk to a lot of our customers and connect with them, always being able to still offer festivals and things for our kids. But I think building upon everything that we're doing and taking it kind of just to the next level. We have our Essentials program that we are continuing to do that started through COVID, and being able to just, like I said, expand on the things that we're doing.
Playing off of that, I mean, I like to say, I have a lot of cliches, but my one I say is I like to make sure that we stick to our roots but grow our branches. When we know what our background is, and we're never going to go away from that, but in order to make sure that we have strong roots, we have to keep expanding and keep refreshing and keep adjusting to whatever the community needs, whatever we need as a family, and make sure that we are relevant and being in touch with current society, for that matter, of social responsibility, whatever it may be, and that will help ensure, I think, that we'll attract the customers that we need and want, but also the staffing that we need and want too, because they want to be a part of it. That's our goal, is to make our staff want to be here, because it just trickles down from everything, because they're the face of a lot of what we do. So that's why we have to keep expanding and trying to do different events and activities to see what might stick.
In my opinion, you guys have done a great job at that.
Thank you.
And so the fact that you have 7 generations now and that it's still a family-owned business is quite remarkable. As you were saying, in today's society, it's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
But it seems like, and just being here, you guys are really close. You work day to day with one another, and I'm sure that can be challenging sometimes, but for the most part, it seems like all of you have a really good relationship. So why don't you talk about being a part of a family business and what that means, and what you hope to share with your customers when they're coming in and the experience you want them to have.
Well, I think growing up, especially, like, our best friends were our cousins, you know, so a lot of people, they have family reunions to meet up with their family, and we work every day with them, you know, and it's a part too that we can be here working, and then we can go somewhere and do something all together and still have a great time. And even our children now too, they love playing with their cousins, and they come here to be with their cousins, and you see them out on the floor, they like to help too, you know. So a lot of customers get interaction and we want them to know that it is a family.
Yeah, hearing Grandma back in the day answering the phone, "Hello, Soergel Orchards, Mrs. Soergel speaking," and then on the other side they're going, "Really?" And she goes, "Oh yes, it is. This is Jean Soergel." I always love that. She got a kick. She did that on purpose. But that's a cool thing. But what we do is not a career in my mind. It's a total lifestyle. I mean, and there's good with that and a little bit of bad. I mean, you're all in all the time. I mean, the investment mentally never goes away. I mean, and if it did, then you're in trouble. And the passion is there every day, because the goal again is the 7th generation is here, and we want to make sure that we do our responsibility, take care of everything that we can to give them the opportunity that we had as well, and not force them into it. But our responsibility is to lay that tradition and have the impact on them to have that burning desire to just want to be a part of it too. It's kind of hard to not go, "You're going to do it, kid."
I know.
I would love to retire here, but the retirement at Soergel Orchards, if you're a family member, means you're still here, and you're guiding and impacting, hopefully, and helping in any way that you can with the younger generation.
Well, our grandmother's retirement age was 94.
Yeah.
You know, so like you said, it's a lifestyle, but it's a lifestyle we chose.
Yep.
It's funny you asked that question. I was actually thinking about this the other day, as like he says, you don't really turn it off ever. And I was kind of reflecting on the fact that we all have very different personal lives and families and family structures, but we all get along really, really well. And how lucky we are that we respect each other, we can be heard with each other. It just is really valuable. And to your point of, like, it's really unheard of to hear of that. Yeah, it is. But we have different personalities and different ways of working, but it all works really well. Like, some of my weaknesses are his strengths and her strengths, but maybe I can pick up where they sometimes, I could help them too. So it's really very unique that we've all kind of come together, found our place, found out what we need to do. I mean, we laugh that sometimes, like, you're the janitor, you're cleaning the toilets, you're cleaning the floor, you're cleaning up, or you're running a multi-thousand person event, and you're trying to coordinate a lot of people and a lot of moving parts, and it's very different every day, but we work really well together. And at the end of the day, hey, my freezer's down. Okay, we're all on our way up there to help you unload it, get it fixed. Like it's really a special dynamic.
It seems that way. And I think as you were sharing earlier about your dad and how everybody seems to think he's like
the in-house therapist.
Because he is, yeah.
Yeah.
But that also goes back to your point on kind of working with the next generation that's coming through and helping and listening and kind of guiding them on the right path.
Right.
So,
right. It's important.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it seems to transcend kind of through everything.
Yeah.
So, okay. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about the seasons of Soergels here? So, because I know you're busy year round and you have different things at different points in the year. So why don't we start with the beginning of the year and some of the things that you do? And I know also that you're growing, you have greenhouses.
Yep.
Kind of how it all comes together.
Sure. It's actually my favorite part about this business, not outside of the family perspective. So I love the seasons. My brother Cam, who you'll talk to as well, just moved back. And we were talking about moving back and what does that look like? And I said, the best part is it's seasonal. Everything is changing all the time. I mean, we're already through strawberries. We're already talking fall, and then we're going to talk Christmas right behind that. And it's always changing, which is so awesome. I don't know what I would do without this season. So it's really fun. It's nice to ask that question. So we start, the winter is kind of quiet here. We are open year round. January, February is quiet. We start then in March with some of our early spring planting and things like that with the greenhouse starting. And then we move into Easter, which we do a lot of different Easter pre-orders. We have what we call our spring celebration, where we have the Easter Bunny here. It's kind of it's a family event that we like to just kind of celebrate the spring. We do a bit of Mother's Day when we roll into May. The greenhouse is quite busy preparing for people's gardens and things like that. And then strawberry season. And that's when, we always joke, in January, it's going to be strawberries picking soon. So we have strawberry season, and then it's summer. Then it's full on. We farm over 400 acres, so we are growing a ton of stuff. And the market is filled with fresh produce and things that have come right from the field, sometimes warm because they come from outside right in, and it's really a great time. The market feels really full. We offer blueberry picking as well. Last year we started flower picking, so we have a flower field available in the summer months, and then we kind of cruise right into fall. And I've skipped over summer, so you guys can chime in if I've missed something so far.
The only thing I'm thinking of is sweet corn. That's a big
So
thing.
sweet corn is really, obviously really popular here, and that is end of summer. We go right into fall, and then it's what we're known for, our fall festivals, and that is 6 to 7 weeks long of a lot of fall, a lot of pumpkins, a lot of apples, a lot of people, which is truly what we're built on, and that's what we are appreciative of the community coming out to support us during that time. And then we go into Thanksgiving, and it's a quick right after. I don't
Catch your breath.
It's like
maybe.
a 1-2 punch. It's oh, okay, we're going right into Thanksgiving because we do a lot of pies. We do offer pre-order pies and turkeys, and then it's Christmas, and that's a magical time here too with the Christmas trees. And we offer a version of, we used to do a snowflake festival. It's kind of just transformed. Santa Claus comes and you can visit with him. And then we do kind of take a little break after the holidays. We take about a week or two off to do some indoor projects that can't be done.
Yeah, we don't really take off.
It's a different off. The doors might close, but we might be refinishing a floor or doing something that you can't do while you're open. So I know I've taken over the question, and you guys can chime in, but I love the seasons. I love that it's always on to the next thing, and it's the same as last year, but it's always a little different. It's always maybe a challenge. Maybe we had a drought and we have to change the way strawberries picking looks or strawberry festival looks. But it's always okay, blueberries are coming soon. It makes the year go very quickly, good or bad. The year goes very fast.
I think summarizes it very well. But to what we talked about earlier, as far as adding in the new ideas, that's what in January, February, it's a lot of meetings, and we try to sit down and talk and figure out how are we going to tweak and improve X, Y, or Z throughout the year. But everything that we do, because of the seasonality and because we are agriculturally based, there's a lot of risk. This year we lost our entire peach crop. So that can paralyze you but we're trying to act in a way that we have insurance policies, which are these other events. And
Yeah.
that's where, like, yeah, we lost the peach crop, but we added in the homegrown happy hour that Amy talked about as a way to ensure, hopefully, that we will be able to recover some of that lost income. But again, we're still at the mercy of the weather.
Right.
And that's so much of what we do is weather dependent, because we are not an all-inclusive one-stop shop. So people don't have to come here, but we again want to make sure they want to come here and give them the reason to come here. And that's where the different ideas throughout the year and activities and events help hopefully drive the traffic, in addition to knowing, hey, I can talk to the guy that grew and picked that corn.
Yeah.
if I say, can I talk to him?
Yeah.
Because we'll get him.
That's
You know,
great.
and that's the fun part, to be able to go, yeah, that apple that you're looking at right here, I can tell you the 3 people that had anything to do with that. And I think
That's
that's
it, yeah.
an awesome
That's
part
pretty
of what we
amazing.
do.
Yeah, and so there's a lot, it seems like you're very nimble, very flexible, able to pivot when needed, which is great and which makes businesses successful. And then also the ability to have those events and do different things, it just sets you up for success.
I mean, with the events, I mean, we're getting to a point, and this was probably a little over 10 years ago, where we kept repeatedly hearing people say, oh, we used to come there when my kids were young. Like, and what can we do to attract people at our age,
Right.
people of our age at that time? And we tweaked some of our events, started adding some adult beverages into them, made some more adult-oriented events. We did a farm to fork dinner every year that drew a nice crowd of people. Added Arsenal Cider House, which was a different dynamic altogether, and I think that's when a lot of things started to change as far as going, oh, it's not the kid place. So I think that was it.
But along that lines, they can still bring their children, because they can sit and have an adult beverage and watch them play in our tiny town.
Right.
And the kids are enjoying themselves and the adults are enjoying themselves. And
Yeah, there's no through traffic, there's no busy road like back here. So it's a safe place to bring, the whole family out to.
And to your point, so the experience really, as you had said, is what draws and brings people back. And I have felt that here, and we've, Brandon and I have come here for our Christmas trees, we get our flowers here. You guys provide a great experience.
Thank you.
It feels friendly, and it does feel like it's family ran. So you guys
Thank
do
you.
a great job at that.
Thank you.
So then I also want to ask you a little bit about your individual roles and your contributions in those roles. I know that you wear multiple hats, but maybe talk about one of those roles that are important to you, what the responsibilities are, and what it is that you enjoy most about it.
one of my roles is mainly working in the market. So we work with the students, we do the dreaded scheduling, stuff like that. But I also make the fruit and gift baskets. So especially around Christmas time, it gets extremely hectic, and but it's fun. I'm not creative, but it's fun to just build and work on that. I do some of the stuff for like the farm related too, because I do live on the property, the farmland up in Butler County. It gets people to see animals and relate to the farm that maybe they've never done before. We've got 2 new baby goats up there now, and so it's interesting to see how people relate to the animals that way, because they're from, a lot of them are from the city and they've never seen a drafted horse, a big workhorse. Or they'll say, oh, look at the baby sheep when it's a goat, so it's an educational process too, which is, that's one of the parts that I really, really enjoy too.
That's great. Naturally Soergel's, we opened 14 years ago this past May, and I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and when I had to go gluten-free, it was a need that hadn't really been met in this area at the time. So we opened Naturally Soergel's as a way to provide specialty diet, foods for specialty diets. So we do gluten-free, peanut-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, paleo. We really try to cater to people who have to follow a specialty diet, whether it is medically diagnosed or not. So it's been a really important part, especially with kids who have food allergies that can't participate in it, maybe an event at school or trick-or-treating, we are able to still provide that experience for them on some level. So Naturally Soergel, as I said, has always been my baby. I've opened it and it's been a really special part of my life. I met my husband there actually the day I opened. So
Oh, really?
yeah. Yeah. He also has celiac disease, so we're both gluten-free. We have 3 kids. It's really nice to be able to have them be a part of this. They're little, so they don't work yet, although they try. They think they do, they don't. But it's nice to, Naturally Soergel has always been really important to me. I've stepped into a different role in the last couple of years, just kind of helping to organize. I always laugh, I love a whiteboard. So the winter months are good, I love a meeting. I like to plan and I like to help organize and I like to try to see the next step or what's coming down the line. So that's really important, especially when it comes to fall and making sure like everything is done that needs to be done, or I do the best I can. Sometimes things fall through the cracks. But outside of Naturally Soergel, that's a really nice part of what I do, is just kind of being involved in like little ways in different parts of the farm.
Okay, Eric?
For me, it has changed tremendously from being a kid, and again, I talked about being out in the fields a lot at that point. And whenever I was in college, I went to Penn State, and I broke my collarbone in the summer, and that made me stay inside. And once I got inside, I kind of go, this might actually be where I need to be. I got exposed. I mean, I had spent a lot of time in there still to that point. But again, Katie mentioned my grandfather. I was working in the bakery with my grandfather, cutting up strawberries and making strawberry pies, stuff like that. But it got my feet more wet into the day-to-day operations at that point in time, and dealing with the bakery and deli. So whenever I graduated with a marketing degree, I came back and went into the bakery and deli, but also handled some of the marketing at that point in time. And then on down, it just turned a little bit more to general management, and then to IT stuff and register stuff. And it's still, some of that is still intertwined, but now I do a lot of, I guess all of the above still.
A lot of everything.
Registers go down, we call it.
He does a lot of everything.
I have to fake it till I make it so many times with that. But a lot of logistics is what I handle really with the ordering for almost the entire campus, trying to just balance.
He's very good at it.
That's
something I would not be.
I mean, there's
That's
so
why
many pieces.
That's
Yeah.
and to, you know, to the point of like what he's saying is we all have very specific roles, but and can help each other. But when it comes like, that's not me.
We can help
I'm
put the
glad-
order away when it comes in.
I'm glad he's really good at that, because
Yeah.
I'm not really.
I had a full head of hair before, and it's just non-stop babysitting of the accounts of trying to go, okay, because we are so diverse, and it's just trying to make sure that we have all of the pockets taken care of. So I am consumed by that most of the time.
Wow.
But again, a lot of assistance on helping get it all done.
It seems like you all balance each other out.
We do.
And I'm assuming the other part of your team and other family members, they also contribute in different ways and also kind of,
Oh, totally.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
have some really long-time staff members. I mean,
We do.
going through it, I mean, there are several in the teens,
Late teens
of years
yeah.
that they've been here, and the key, I mean, it's just, it wouldn't be fair to name one because we'd leave out 10.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right,
I mean, but the impact that they have on what we do, but also on the students. Like, we have a few mentors, staff members that really take hold of some 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that first time job, maybe have confidence issues, and man, they just grab them and turn them into.
They come a long way, these students. I mean, it's really fun to watch.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And now one of the cool things with my role here now is I have 2 kids, 14 and 12, and my 14-year-old son has friends that are starting to work here now. So I have a little bit of accountability that I can kind of go, I've got you, my man, you know. So that's been a lot of fun with that, kind of getting to that stage of our lives of where we're at, of going, and we've always been blessed with staff, but be able to have my kids and moving on down the road, her kids, and now Carter lives in the other area, but and who knows at that point. But it's just, it'll become that much more important and more impactful, I think, to how it feels.
Well, with the students too, it's neat when they first start working when they're 14 or 15, then they stay with us, they go to college, and it's fun. Because numerous of them will come back and they'll say, you know, when I started working here, I didn't know the difference of the different types of apples. And now they even say I've become an apple snob. Is that an empire? Is that is that a Honeycrisp? But it's really neat that they take ownership and they care about it. And they tell their college friends, and we have ship apples to them at school and
get invited to their weddings.
And yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you were 14 when you started.
We've had a couple relationships from here get married,
Yeah.
They met here and got married,
That really speaks to the culture here at Soergel's, and how you're working and treating your employees, and what you give back to them. So that's really remarkable.
It's fun too because we work with them. We're all here every day. So if they need something, we're here. So I mean, it's not like we're just that's the family, but they don't work. We're here every day.
I am very proud of what we do, but it is cool. Like my dad's 72, and he works every day in the cider press and never complains and never stops, and it's because of us. He's doing it for us and for the tradition, and that is something I'm really proud of and don't want to let go of.
Well, thank you all for your time today. We really appreciate you opening your doors and allowing us in to tell your story.
Well, we appreciate you guys capturing our story and chatting with us. It's always fun and nice for us to kind of listen to the stories that Linda and my dad shared, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
Perfect.
Hopefully there'll be a lot more stories to come too. So come on back.
Of course.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate your time greatly.
All right. Well, thank you so much.